Is a strawberry wine considered a wine? What about a blue wine? Well, just as most food and beverage products go, being allowed to label what you have made as a wine is legally defined in most countries. The OIV, which is l'Organisation Internationale de la Vigne et du Vin, or in English, the International Organization of Wine and Wine, lays down the law on what you can label as a wine. If you are a member of this organization, which almost 47 countries are, you have to follow their norms. Some other countries, like the United States of America, UK, and Canada, have their own regulatory authorities. The OIV say that wine is a beverage made exclusively from the partial or complete fermentation of fresh grapes. So if you want to make a strawberry wine, you would have to label it as a fruit wine, a whole different product. As for blue wines, if they are made from grapes, then yes, it is technically a wine. Barring these, you still have a lot to choose from: the still wines, including reds, whites, and rosés, the sparklings, the fortified wines like sherry and port, and dessert wines. The grapes used to make wine mostly belong to the genus Vitis and species Vinifera. This classification, Vitis vinifera, includes a whole bunch of grapes. Over 5,000 varieties, in fact. These include table grapes and raisin grapes like Red Globe and Thompson Seedless, as well as wine grapes such as Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, and Merlot. All these different names in the market technically refer to different cultivars, meaning that these are cuttings of vines that have been selected and propagated over the millennia for certain desirable characteristics. Table grapes were selected to be larger, preferably seedless, thin-skinned, and with lower sugar levels so that they are easy to ship, store, and consume. Wine grapes are seeded, have thicker skins, and higher sugar levels. The skins contain the aroma and flavor precursors as well as color compounds, while the sugar is used up by yeast to produce alcohol. So crunching down wine grapes can actually be quite satisfying, if you don't mind the seeds, that is. And if you want to make wine with table grapes, you could. But don't expect to impress the critics, for you wouldn't get the same structure and complexity as you would with wine grapes. So how do you make a wine? Wine grapes are harvested, then fermented, processed, and aged in wineries in order to make a wine. Wine is mostly composed of water, some alcohol, and a little bit of a whole lot of other important components like acids, sugars, tannins, and aroma and flavor components that make a wine complex and wonderful. And the best part of it is that the grapes themselves already have all the ingredients needed to make a wine. After all, as Galileo Galilei once rather poetically mused, wine is sunlight held together by water. But really, all you need is to have a winery, a vineyard or a friend who has a vineyard, and some very talented folk to make it for you. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please like, share, and subscribe. See you next week with another video on wine.